Hi everyone, we have prepared latest market updates for August 12, 2022. Apple to maintain iPhone sales in a weak market. Apple Inc. has asked suppliers to make at least as many next-generation iPhones this year as they did in 2021, counting on a rich customer base and reduced competition to survive the global downturn in electronics. The tech giant is telling its assemblers to make 90 million of its newest devices on par with last year, despite a worsening outlook for the smartphone market, according to people familiar with the matter. The Cupertino, California-based company still expects to assemble a total of about 220 million iPhones by 2022, which is also about the same as last year, according to one of the people interviewed. Apple's projections, which are kept strictly confidential, suggest that the company is confident it can weather the downturn in spending on smartphone and other devices. The global phone market, which fell 9% in the June quarter, will shrink 3.5% in 2022, IDC predicts. While Android devices are suffering, higher demand for Apple's new lineup is due to consumers still willing to spend money on premium gadgets. The actual collapse of Huawei Technologies Co. also led to weaker competition in the high-end smartphone market. As of this writing, Apple stock is trading 0.44% lower. Ethereum prepares for a major crypto event. The second most popular token, Ethereum, has just held its last test run before one of the most important events in cryptocurrency history, the introduction of the proof-of-stake model on the network, which is less energy-intensive than the existing proof-of-work method. The Ethereum blockchain recently had one last dress rehearsal before a major upgrade next month, which will be one of the most important events in the history of crypto. The fundamental difference between the two models is the complexity of the mining process. Since its inception nearly 10 years ago, Ethereum has been mined using what is known as proof-of-work model, which involves complex mathematical equations that are solved with a huge number of machines and require large amounts of energy. Bitcoin mining follows a similar process, but the Ethereum blockchain is moving to a new network security model called proof-of-stake. Users will be able to use the existing Ethereum cash as a means of verifying transactions and issuing tokens. It uses much less energy, so it should result in faster transactions. Gold falls because of the Fed's statements. Gold prices retreated Friday as hawkish comments about interest rate hikes by the Federal Reserve outweighed optimism about signs of cooling U.S. inflation. Spot gold fell 0.1% to $1,788.13 an ounce, and gold futures held near $1,803.50. Nevertheless, both instruments were set for weak gains this week, marked by a sharp drop in the dollar. But overnight comments from Fed officials about the path of policy tightening kept investors uncertain about future interest rates. San Francisco Fed President Mary Daly said she is ready for a 75 basis point rate hike in September, noting that inflation is still at 40-year highs. Chicago Fed President Charles Evans also said this week that the Fed needs to raise rates to 3.25 through 3.5% by the end of the year to combat inflation. Their comments dampened optimism about the unexpected decline in U.S. producer price inflation in July, data showed Thursday. This came after data on Wednesday showed that U.S. consumer price inflation remained static in July after an exponential rise earlier in the year.